This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 857 for the week of Monday, February 24th, 2025. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
And we have two guests here with us. We have our anime recap host, even though the anime has not been happening still. What do you call it? Not in memoriam.
I'm writing them letters now.
Emeritus.
Oh, okay, good. Emeritus. That's the word I'm looking for. We have Sam Leach with us. How's it going, Sam?
Hi, it's going all right.
Good to have you back.
Yeah. Always good to have you, Sam. And we have animator, screenwriter, artist, director, producer, voice actor, Kermit. We have with us Matt Danner. How's it going, Matt?
Good. How are you?
Good. Great to have you on.
I appreciate being on.
Haven't seen anyone using a snowball mic in years.
I know it's my quote unquote scratch mic.
Ah.
I think, yeah. Snowballs are solid.
It's just quick. It's like, I gotta go. I gotta get scratch for an edit. We gotta go. So
All right.
apparently it works.
Wow, industry talk already on the show.
I know.
Oh, no. So Matt, what brought you to into One Piece? I was going to our little podcast here.
So
what? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was in 1999, believe it or not,
Wow.
way back when.
Here we go.
I was working on a pirate cartoon with an animator named Eric Pringle, who you may know from, he's the animation director on Teen Titans Go currently, and he was on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and a million other
Sounds
shows.
like he would know our friend Brian.
Yes, he would.
I
I
think Matt knows our friend Brian.
Brian Newton.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think everyone on Earth knows Brian Newton.
Friend of
He's
the
like-
show, Brian Newton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Friend of everyone, bro.
he's amazing. He's amazing.
Friends of mankind.
Yeah. So we were working on a pirate cartoon, and the whole bit was that the pirates were monsters and they had powers and stuff. So we wanted to do sort of like a cartoony comedy kind of thing that also had some action elements in it. And our main hero was the first mate, who was basically like a merman Gilligan. And with literally like the red shirt and like the hat, and everything. And he was real rubbery and stretchy. Like, it was like weird. And then so I was in Little Tokyo at a bookshop, and I saw the very first color walk, One Piece color walk. And I went, what is this? And I started looking through it, and I'm like, why is there this show that already exists that I was just trying to do, kind of like,
Wow.
obviously
Yeah.
not to the level that they were doing it, but I was like, this is like, what is this? And I was kind of like spooked a little bit. And so I ended up buying a bootleg DVD of like the first, voyage.
These the bad Hong Kong English fan subs?
Yes, it was where
yeah.
like Usopp was called Liar Boo.
Yep.
And she was called Sunkissed. Like, it was real bad.
And
but I
Smoker ate
got
the
hang of
smoking
it.
nuts?
Yeah. And I fell in love with the show. And it was weird because everything about the show seemed to draw from a lot of the same influences I had growing up. And so it was really odd. Like, I grew up watching Dragon Ball, and I grew up, with watching Gilligan's Island, and I, like there's a Michael Jackson character in it. Like, it was very, very strange. And then oddly enough, then another show came out called Misadventures of Flapjack, and
Oh, yeah.
The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, created by Thurup Van Oren, who's a friend, and his captain pirate looked just like my captain. It was weird. It was like there was this weird sort of pirate nexus that everyone sort of tapped
Oh,
into.
this is
at
like
the
when
same time.
Armageddon and Deep Impact came out in the same year?
Yeah. Or like, Ants and Bugs Life, or,
Yeah.
Finding Nemo and Shark's Tale.
Ants and Pug. Well, I feel like some of those must have been on purpose. But
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Ants was sabotage.
Was it? Well, Woody Allen's in it, so no one's watching it anymore.
yeah, that's
Right.
yeah,
So Bugs Life wins.
he sabotaged it.
So yeah, and then that was it. And then I became a huge fan, and then I just got obsessed with it. And then I just started like, I find, and I was, just watching the anime. So I was just buying bootleg DVDs of the anime until I couldn't find those anymore. And then suddenly you could, torrent them, when that was a thing,
Oh, yeah. Back in the digital fan sub days, yeah.
Yeah. And it was just weird because there were all these, over the course of it, there were all these characters that all seemed to have like a little bit of meaning in my life. For instance, I worked on a show called Shaolin Showdown, and I created the character designs for that. And one of which was Jack Spicer, who looks exactly like Captain Kidd. And these are years apart. And it's just all this weird stuff where I'm like, somehow like I was supposed to watch this, right? And then over the course of my time, and no one else knew what it was, and nobody else cared. I was the only person. And then I met Brian Newton, who also knew about it. And I was like, you know about this? And he's like, yeah, isn't it amazing? And then slowly over time, like we started like kind of collecting people like Casey Leonard and Dave Stone and all of these folks that were just like also knew about it and loved it and but didn't have like a community. And that's why, as Steve knows, we've been on this email chain for probably 20 years now, it feels like.
But at what point did you start reading the manga?
During the time skip. So as soon as I got to the end of where you know Akuma made everyone disappear, and I was like, what the hell? And I called Brian. And I'm like, what is this it? What's going on? He's like, read the manga. And then I started reading the manga from then on.
That's a good Brian impression, I think, too.
Yeah.
Read the manga.
I would
That's
say,
pretty
yeah,
incredible.
yeah, I would say Danner and Brian are like at like the nucleus at the core of like these, you know, these animation industry, you know, artists, like the One Piece fandom in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the background of my phone. I mean, it's
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy because, I mean, Steve, you could attest too. I feel like there were like generations of One Piece fans, and the Hong Kong bootleg generation, I think, is like the first in America.
It's a little before our time because I got into it in 2006, and that was during the digital fan sub era.
Yeah.
wow.
Fan sub torrent.
Yeah, because I got those DVDs before I realized what like torrenting was and all that.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
but I was still like, I was late because I got those. It was like 2000, like early 2005. I remember buying those. So
Yeah.
I'll also say what's crazy is like I think Brian listened to us like when we first started, which freaks me out on several levels. But that's anyone was listening to us. But it's just crazy how much it's blown up since then. I'm sure for you, it's like I cannot believe. You probably know the ending of One Piece since you've accidentally predicted the story, the character designs, so can you let us what's the
I mean, if I was going to guess, I feel like whatever it is, it's that because it's called One Piece, right? And like I don't think they're trying to hide anything. I think it's literally that one piece of information that ties everything together. Like if there was one like thing, it's like this really simple little thing that just makes everything make sense.
I think you're right in that it's almost definitely something simple and right in front of us.
It has to be because the world is so ridiculously huge and it's so comically huge that it's hilarious. That's why I think everyone laughs when they see it, right? That's why it's at Laugh Tale and it's like it's almost comical. So it has to be something simple like, you know, you're all in a movie. Or something, or
you're in a comic book.
You're in a comic book, yeah.
Actually, yeah. It's the Bugs Bunny Run Amok, Bugs Amok,
Duck Amok.
Duck Amok.
Yeah.
My God, sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's the Rosetta Stone for One Piece. But that's an amazing journey. I think you only like one other person has beaten you in timing, but so what were you in Japan for at the time that you went there?
So I found it in Little Tokyo in LA.
Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
I missed the little of it.
That's okay.
I was going to say, I'm like,
what were you in LA for?
I was just in Japan recently, and there's One Piece everywhere now.
oh yeah,
It's almost kind of gone around from like when I first started doing like, you know, it's almost like a drug now. Like when I first started doing the One Piece, it was so obscure, and now it's almost like when you tell somebody that you know One Piece and you like One Piece, they're like, well, yeah, of course everybody does. I mean,
yeah,
it's like
I
Dragon
have to
Ball Z at
choose
this
to
point.
not talk to people about it because I'll see everyone wearing a shirt now.
Yeah,
So
We're
before then,
hipsters.
it's like if you saw someone with a shirt, you'd be like, you got to stop them.
it used to be that. Yeah, I'd see like a sticker on a car, and I'd be like, hey, we are on
that
the
might have been our cars.
cruise.
I have a coworker who wears a Luffy shirt, and I've never once talked to her about it.
Sam,
She might be listening to this right now. There's a
Sam,
non-zero chance.
I can't think of
Sam.
like, come on, like that'll like kill some time on some shifts. You
Well,
should.
You know what the weirdest thing
No,
is now too?
I want to do it
Matt.
when it would be most funny to root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, go
The
ahead.
power
Sorry.
level.
No, I was just gonna say because I have an 8-year-old now, right? And so for Halloween this year, I went to her school, and there were like 5 Luffys.
Yeah, my 10-year-old nephew has read the first 82 volumes now.
Yeah,
Only the first 82.
Yeah.
and
Sorry,
to be
Matt.
fair, there was one Gear 5 Luffy
Wow.
at like an elementary school. So I was like,
Cool.
okay, it's not
That-
just that they watch the Netflix adaptation; it's like they actually know
No.
this.
And all the anime
be
is on
fair,
Netflix now, too.
The
Yeah.
Netflix adaptation for 8-year-olds not necessarily the best. In that it is Zoro is extra bloodlust.
Buggy's potty mouth.
Oh yeah, that's the part that's bad, not the cutting
I mean-
off the head of the guy in the first episode.
These kids are
Yeah.
watching Squid Game, dude. Like, that's all I can say.
Oh, God.
See, I have a 3-year-old, and he has not watched Squid Game yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, about a year.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep trying to push Squid Game. No, I don't. So Matt, we ask some very simple questions for all of our guests, and if you say the wrong answer, you're done. Much like Squid Games. So or Kaiji, the better of the two.
Yeah. Deep cut.
Yeah. First question. Who is your favorite Straw Hat Pirate?
I gotta be honest, like, I mean, look, everyone loves Luffy,
You do.
but when Brook showed up, that somehow resonated with me. However, I go between Brook and Frankie, because then Frankie, after the time skip, suddenly became probably one of the coolest characters in the show.
Wow.
Just because of all the like, I love that he's like a robot that plugs into other robots that plug into other robots now. Like, like I never thought it was going to go there, but if I was just going to boil it down to my favorite, I'd probably say Brook, just because I don't know. There's something kind of poetic about this guy who just like was part of this whole thing, and him and Laboon having like history. Like, it's funny when they introduce a new character, but then like they have a tie to something that you saw like 200 episodes ago or whatever. And there was just something really poetic about that, especially that he was all alone on the ship all by himself. Right. And now suddenly he's got friends again, and he's a musician, and Luffy always wanted one. So I even dressed up as him for Halloween that year when they first.
That's a good
introduced
Halloween
him.
costume.
Yeah.
Because even if someone doesn't know One Piece, you're a skeleton. And
yeah. Everyone thought I was dead Howard Stern.
I see it.
Yeah.
Really?
Because of the hair.
I guess.
Yeah.
Dead Howard Stern is where
Yeah.
people went.
Yeah, because he almost looks like he's wearing like a rock outfit, even though it's like a suit.
Yeah.
Like, it's still kind of hip.
With the cheeks cut out, you were dead butt man.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That or
classic.
Dead Slash. People thought I was Dead Slash also. From
That I
Red Hot
get,
Chili-
too.
or
Yeah, I got the top hat for
Guns N'
that, yeah.
Roses.
Guns N' Roses, yeah. Well, the top hat. Brooke
the
has
top
a top
hat.
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the hair. That I love those choices in that I love all of the Straw Hats equally.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Luffy a little bit more.
I love all my children.
I love all my children. But I think Brooke particularly has been is not a very common choice. And Frankie post time skip, I feel like, is also not a common choice. But that I'm not trying to invalidate your opinion.
No,
on those
but you're right
characters.
where I am. Because like when Frankie first showed up, I'm like, oh, it's Popeye. You know, because he even had the arms and everything. And Luffy's basic. I mean, like, it's so Popeye-ish, you know. When I actually at one point was developing a Popeye series. And I basically said we should do One Piece. I was like, we should have Popeye like sailing and punching dinosaurs and stuff. And
Oh my god,
You know.
yes.
yes.
Cool.
But I was using One Piece as an example of, look, they reference Popeye and look at how popular it is. So Popeye's the alpha. It's like the first generation of this thing. Cause even Tetsuka, reference like, Fleischer cartoons and all that kind of stuff. So it's all derivative, in a way, like not derivative, but like, it all grows out of it.
Yeah.
But when Brooke showed up, I was like, oh dude, this guy's awesome. He like plays concerts and stuff. And then he turned into a rock star too. So it's kind of tough. But Frankie, I have a lot of Frankie toys now because of all the robot stuff. Like,
he does have some great toys. And I do want to get the I can't pronounce it.
there's General Frankie, which is like the big robot suit. Yeah, I got one of those.
And there's the one where you could like that have all like
Frankie
the little,
Shogun.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm not going to talk.
There's
about
one that's
figures
like
'cause
really
I don't know anything.
I have a bunch of them,
Yeah.
but like one of them that's like it's like comes with like 40 hands and like a bunch of
Right.
heads and like the hair pops on with a button and
Is it in your Zoom
pretty wild.
background? Right? No one.
no,
sees
it's
this.
actually it would be on my desk. I have it in a box back there that I can get, but
Oh, okay.
Just
Cool.
imagine this is an audio podcast, right? So just imagine I'm holding it and it's
Wow.
dusty glory.
Wow.
I can't believe it. It's dusty, but it's perfect. Second question: who is your favorite antagonist in the series?
I honestly, it's weird. I would have said Bone Clay until like he turned into a friend. But I think it's got to be Buggy. Like Buggy is just so funny to me, especially now that he's like one of the most powerful people in the world, and he's like still a shithead and a coward. You know. Oh, sorry, I can swear on the show, right?
Yes.
Oh, please.
Okay, good.
We
You never
only
know. I
allow
work in
swearing.
kids stuff sometimes. You
I know. Yeah,
No
that's,
swearing,
That's
Mr.
true.
especially as Kermit.
I'm not gonna force your hand there.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite that doesn't fit either of those buckets? I guess Bon Clay could be a answer to that, but
in terms of other favorite characters,
yeah,
Not a straw hat or an antagonist.
non-antagonist, non-antagonistic straw.
Oddly enough, I like this is a weird one, and I don't know if this is a common answer, but I actually like Kermit a lot. Like once like this weird little like starfish character showed up.
Papag.
Papagoo.
Yeah.
You're thinking of his line.
Because I have a bunch of
brand.
Crimin shirts and stuff, and like
They're great.
like they
Cool.
actually made shirts, like which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny that they actually have like a famous fashion designer in the universe. Like, but I don't know if that's like the best. I don't think that's the
No,
best.
They never
No,
showed
it's
who
a-
was the designer of Dosquai Panda.
Yeah, they haven't disclosed that yet.
Maybe
Oh, really?
I do keep meaning
probably
to
What if I
add
said
the
Man?
question. Panda, yeah, probably. You would think. I keep meaning to add the question, who is your favorite super obscure character? And that, I don't think that's super obscure, but it's a little more obscure.
What was the name of the guy in the treasure box from like season 1?
Oh,
Gaimon.
You have,
yeah,
Gaimon
you have good
and
taste.
That guy's great.
his girlfriend Sarfunkel.
Yeah.
Gaimon and Sarfunkel. That was a great reveal.
Yeah.
That it was, the Simon and Garfunkel thing. You have good taste. I like these.
I wish I was better with all the names. To be honest, like you have to understand, like about half of my experience with One Piece with all these obscure characters is the names were wrong. For years, I thought Usopp was Liar Boo. You know what I mean? Like I had no clue.
That's why
I
we're
mean,
here.
that's we call.
And I
them
think even
Liar
if you
Boo.
do say one of those Hong Kong bootleg names, I'll probably know.
Yeah, you
who
probably
you're
do.
talking about.
Steve will translate for us from the
Thank
Hong
you.
Kong bootleg original. What is your favorite story arc in One Piece?
This is going to be this is
You're
like
saying
gonna
that
be
for
a
all of them.
potential debate here, but I gotta say I think it's going to be Skypiea.
That's a correct answer. That's
Like,
acceptable.
That's a correct.
Some people
answer.
really hate it for some reason, and I
those
don't
people are
understand. Like,
wrong.
I cried when that bell rang in the sky, and that crazy guy with the chestnut on his head was like, "Oh my god, it's real!" Finally, like I was like, I'm literally like,
It's even better in the anime.
I was all by myself in like a dark room. I was just bawling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's
Yeah.
how I saw it, was in the anime.
In the anime, yeah, I was going to say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, what's your favorite opening and or ending theme?
Opening, it's so I like the original, the very first one. Like that one stands out. The other one that stands out is the one when they rebooted it and they basically remixed it. Right? Didn't they do like a new version of it?
They've done a lot.
We
And then
Go?
They
A
had
few
We Go.
versions, yeah.
Oh no,
There was
sorry,
the
no, they didn't
the-
remix it. It was the same musician.
He's done a lot of those too since
Yeah,
then.
but I remember they made a big deal about it, saying like, "Hey, he's
We
back
Go,
and he's
I
doing
think.
like the new for when they did the time skip."
Time
basically.
skip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We
go.
Go.
Yeah.
We go.
That's
Yeah,
We Go. That's a good one.
yeah. So those are the two, and then I don't know, like I do like
Do you
the new
remember any of
Egghead
those?
one now.
Yeah.
But none of
That's
them
the same
resonated
guy.
with me as much.
The Egghead is also the
Oh, it
guy
is?
who did We Are. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I did not know that.
Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're here to be those annoying people.
I feel
that
like
tell
I
you
should
facts
know all
you
this
don't.
because I've been with it. Like this
I
has
don't
been
wanna- I
such
don't
a
wanna
part of my life. Like
Demand a right answer, but Memories is the best ending. The first one.
yeah, that's
It's okay
with them
if you
just
forgot.
standing in front of the
Yeah,
boat.
Yeah.
that's just
right?
them
Yeah,
standing.
yeah. It's
Not great
gorgeous.
animation, but it's a
Yeah,
good.
they're gonna
No.
play that at the end of the series, and I will cry.
Yep.
I think we'll cry no matter what, unless it's really stupid. Then I'll cry for other reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're here for all the.
I appreciate it. I
inane
just
facts.
because remember it's been what? How many years now? Like
The anime, 1999.
the anime came out in 1999. Yeah, so that's when I started. So it's 26 years I've been following this thing. So I should know more. I actually should probably have done a little more homework, but
No. You don't. You're not forced to do this week to week like we are.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
you have to. You have to know.
I swear I'm a
Because-
fan.
No, it's I will never gatekeep One Piece.
Okay.
For many reasons, but particularly since I think everyone enjoys it in completely different ways, and there is no right way, and Oda certainly doesn't care. Speaking of enjoying One Piece, we're gonna read chapter 1140 this week called Scopper Gaban. We also will probably have some piece together after that, I assume. Before we get into that, just a little bit of news for sports fans out there. The Red Sox are playing on May 3rd against the Twins. I swear this has to do with One Piece.
It's One Piece night, and if you buy a ticket, you get a One Piece themed Red Sox jersey.
Really?
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Get to Boston.
Yeah, a friend of the show, Val, who lives in Boston, told me about it.
See, doesn't this kind of validate us though that even like now sports fans are doing One Piece stuff? Like I feel like all those years ago,
Yeah,
when
it
I
was
was
the
like,
it was the USC marching band last year.
was it really?
No, that was a few years ago.
I just
That
remember
was-
when Goku got into the Macy's Day Parade, and it was like Goku Blue,
Yeah.
like Super Saiyan Blue, and like
Now
no one
Luffy's
could pronounce
there.
his name right, and I was just like,
Yeah.
well, he's
Yeah.
finally in, you know?
Luffy's in the parade now.
And they
And
pronounced
so
his
far,
name.
they
Yeah, that's
pronounced
right.
his name right
Yeah,
both times.
his hat popped that first year, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah.
God,
Yeah, so if you're in Boston, go check that out. The Lakers, Steve, I know you're not going to the game, but they also have a One Piece thing happening, right?
Yes, that's on February 28th. It's One Piece night.
Thank you for
Cool.
pulling up the date. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No, I just knew.
that's Saturday. That's this coming Saturday, isn't it?
If you're listening to this before February
Oh, no, that's
28th,
Friday, actually.
It is.
Friday.
This is a podcast, so also this may have happened 3 years ago.
Well, I know it's Friday because the Oscars are on Sunday, and we're probably going to be recording during it, and maybe somebody will get slapped again like they did a couple years ago during the show.
Let's hope not.
No.
yeah.
So
Yeah, we want Alex to be here for this.
the
that coming.
we also have the volume 111 cover that just came out. I don't know if Matt also saw, but I'll post it here. This came out last week during the SGS, so I don't think we had a chance to really talk about it.
That's
that
an
much.
interesting color scheme for the title, the green and orange. But Loki's hair is the Brazilian money from Simpsons, all the pink and purple.
Steve, you're our purple resident purple expert.
I don't know. I had a vibe. You know, it's like I could see more of like a purple or like a magenta color. But like I think at this point there's been so many One Piece characters that you can't be like, well, they can't have this hair color because this character has this hair color. It's
No.
There's only so many colors.
yeah.
And Zoro is
But I
chasing
think-
Nami, and Luffy is chasing Chopper. Why?
No, they're all just running.
They're having fun.
They're
They're
but yeah, I
just
think
playing around.
it
Running,
seems like
screaming forever.
Loki's hair is pink, and his wool cloak, whatever, that's purple. So
Oh,
I was thinking it was like a two-toned hair.
no,
I
it's
don't
not.
think so.
Oh, I
Okay.
also just got that.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
I think you are right, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
You know,
Also,
It
tattoos
really
to
complicates
draw.
the whole like Loki Lola pudding love triangle. Now that we know Loki is Big Mom's son.
Thank you, Sam. Stoking that fire that isn't true.
Who is Big Mom's son?
Loki.
Oh,
Because
shit.
Pink.
Oh, of
Oh, you
course.
think? Yeah, maybe.
No, definitely not. 100% no.
That's
this
what's
is
his name's Axe too, right? The new guy, the left.
I think
hand.
that's just Luffy's axe. I think that's just an axe, but
Okay.
because I don't think Scopper shows up in this, so I think this
No.
is just an axe that Luffy found.
Okay.
And
It
is swinging
it
around.
is
It's
copper
surprisingly
colored.
the same design though. It's got
It
it's got
is.
the same exact like.
It's true.
engraving.
Maybe
I have the
maybe
chapter
it
up,
is.
too. It's
Maybe you
foreshadowing.
know what? I don't actually know the answer. I don't know why I'm acting like I do. It totally could be.
It's
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It's a secret
Yeah.
message that Oda is
Specifically
to
to
us.
Sam. Yeah.
to all of us.
Oh, fine. Okay. So this comes out March
I'm not the only
4th.
one who can determine that Scopper Gaban is joining the crew.
It includes the last few chapters of Egghead and that little Lego Island arc. And it's called Adventures in Elbaf. So if you read the title, you will know where we're going next. Or look at the cover, really. For those who read the volume for the first time, which there are a lot of in Japan. That's really it for the news. We covered the sports news and the volume, and we talked to Matt. So let's get into the chapter. This is the manga recap for chapter 1140, Scopper Gaban. You can read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out from shonenjump.viz.com. mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp is also a place you can find it legally, free, worldwide. Comes out the same exact time as it does in Japan. That's all pretty cool, right? Ed, what is going on the cover page?
No, just to start off, there were no author comments published on the Viz blog this week, as far as I can tell with this, at time of recording at least. And Akane Banashi was on the cover of Jump this week. So, maybe next week, we'll see. But on the cover of this chapter, we have Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 26. And Ulti is shackled to what appears to be a roulette wheel. And this is her saying this to Who's who is holding a sword very sinisterly and licking his lips, also very sinister-like, saying, "If anything happens to Pepe, I'll hunt you to the depths of hell and beat you to death."
I think this is—it's not a roulette wheel. It's just it's a dartboard.
It's like a dartboard.
Oh yeah, dartboard.
Because I thought it was like the circus thing
Yes.
too, and I realized I'm like, wait, where does it spin?
And he's been throwing knives at her clearly.
It's the new season of Death Parade.
He got her
Sam.
twice or three times.
Sam, how do you feel about this?
She's got this.
Yeah.
She can turn into a dinosaur, right?
Who can?
Can.
See Prism
Yeah,
chains.
Maybe.
She can get out of
But
this.
they might be,
So
Yeah, I
was
guess
it was Ulti and Pepe who got captured last chapter in the cover story?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caught two interesting things. I think it was the cover last week.
Yeah. Page 1 is on the bottom left corner here. He kind of gets cut off by the text.
And now I
see.
could say last time we really discussed page 1 and Ulti was back in 2018 or 19, whenever the hell that.
No.
20?
No.
Was that 20?
No. 2018 was
Pre-COVID?
that was 2018 was the beginning of Wano. Page 1 I think showed up early 2019.
Oh.
I was going to say it's pre me having kids, but now I totally know Pachycephalosaurus and Spinosaurus, and I know that that's what they are now, and I could pronounce it.
You never watched Jurassic Park 3?
No.
That's
No, I
arguably
haven't.
one of the best dinosaur gimmicks that they've ever done, though, where the Spinosaurus swallows the satellite phone, and every time they hear the phone ring, he shows up, and then eventually they hear the phone ring, and it's just in a giant pile of shit.
Oh boy.
I thought that was great.
I haven't seen that one.
That's their Jaws theme. Is just
I love,
There's a
for the
cell
record.
phone
So I was
ringtone.
born on June 30th. So every time every year a Jurassic Park movie comes out, it comes out on my birthday.
Oh.
So that's my tradition. Is whenever there's a Jurassic Park movie, I go.
I didn't
for
realize they always come out on June.
They
5th.
always come out right on that weekend, that 4th of July weekend.
I mean, that makes sense
Yeah.
because it's like
Isn't that wild?
it's a that's the blockbuster weekend.
I haven't seen any of the
traditional.
Jurassic World movies either.
Any thoughts on this cover from anyone else besides Sam? Since I know Sam's opinions.
I want to see Ulti beat up Who's Who.
I want to see everyone beat up Who's Who.
I'm still disappointed that Who's Who has his fingers aren't still broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish.
Do we
Truly
know where-
wish that's.
Yeah.
Do we know where Yamato went at this point?
I assume he's watching it.
Hanging around in
I
the
forget
Uh,
background with Tama,
Yeah,
Or they're looking in the
unclear.
lurking in the window.
considering
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in. Is when he's
Yamato.
going to show up and kick ass.
It's the tradition of cover page stories to not feature the cover page protagonist all that much.
Yeah.
So the
Right.
Germa 66 one recently is a really good example of that. Any other thoughts? All the cat folks in the background. Any other?
We're good.
What? You sure?
They
Yes.
look awesome. They
Wow.
look very
Okay,
cool with
Ed.
their little cat hats.
Please
Okay.
get us away from the cat
So
den.
still in the treasure chamber, Luffy is saying, "How come we have to take the key from you? Just give it." And Roto over on the side is like, "So yeah, what is the meaning of this? What's wrong?" "Can't do it," Gaban says, and he's laughing. He's having a little fun with these kids. And Luffy charges in. "Okay, that's it." And then we have somebody remembering, I guess this is Zoro remembering Colin saying, "My dad used to be a pirate. He can even hold his own against Elbaf warriors." And Zoro's like, dot, dot, dot.
Zoro thinks
Serious look on his face.
he's not thinking about swords and.
And
Thank you for calling him Zoro, by the way, and not Zolo.
No, we
I
go with
appreciate
the correct version.
Yeah.
Liar Boo and Zoro. That's what we
Yeah.
call
And,
them.
yeah, and Sunkissed.
And
I go with-
Sunkissed.
Sanji. Yeah.
Yeah, I speak from the heart. And Luffy's, his hand reaches in, goes right over Gaban's right shoulder, and he's sort of flinging his hand around, grabbing for the key. And he says, "Listen, old man, I just want to get this to Loki."
Gaban says, "Just take it from me, then."
Yeah, I will. And Gaban jumps up into the air, something over his head about to swing down. He's got the key sort of by the end of it, and he's gonna swing the base of it at Luffy.
I want to note here, someone mentioned, I think one of our fans, or someone in our Discord, I don't remember. The flame design on the key where the hockey is kind of enveloping it, almost Gear 4-esque. I didn't notice
yeah.
this right away, but
That's
I think
interesting.
that's an interesting detail.
Is that not how it's happened before with objects?
I
like
don't
when
know.
somebody like infuses an object with hockey.
I don't know.
I can't recall. I know, like we've seen it. You know,
When's
few
the last
times here,
time that-
mostly with
yeah.
Zoro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoro.
Yeah, I always saw it as like ink, like going through through an
same.
object.
Yeah, that's how it.
You know?
Yeah, usually, like at least with the manga.
Like on
Very
Luffy,
much
it's like
looks like that.
tattoos, right? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Remember, Virgo was the first time we really saw that with someone coating their whole body in
Yes.
it. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Those
god,
are rad.
Virgo.
Glossy black like this is bleach.
Yeah. Now I want a hamburger. Steve,
Stuck to your face.
I didn't say that.
Oh, that's why I wasn't sure where.
Yeah,
we were going with
no.
that. Anyway, um,
How could you forget?
Gaban has imbued this giant key with armament hockey, and he brings it right down on Luffy. Who just goes, "Whoa!"
He just brains him with it. Yeah. El Kabong.
Yeah, and he twirls back in the air, and Roto here is like, "Wait, Surya!" And Nami with this big expression here. She's like, "Are you kidding me, Luffy?" Really like this, like really like just that elongated mouth is really pushing her. Like, seriously, come on.
You're getting your
Yeah,
ass
and-
kicked by this random old guy. Like, what are you doing here? You're an emperor.
And Luffy storms out of the rubble here. He's pissed, and Gaban, who's still jumping back, he says, it's like, "That's a nifty straw hat you got there." He's like, "It'd look better on you than a helmet, I bet." And Luffy, who's doing like a gum gum gatling, but just more like a gum gum grabbling or something like that. Just a bunch of hands.
That's a pretty good one.
As Gaban, and not my best, but Gaban is dodging. He says like, "Yeah, because it's the treasure I'm holding for Shanks. Now give me that key." And Gaban retorts like, "Oh, you're only holding it. He didn't give it to you, the cheapskate." And Luffy says, "No, dummy." That's not what it means.
Yeah.
Don't call Shanks a cheapskate. You have no idea about him.
Yes.
You know.
Don't insult Shanks. I guess all scoppers are bastards.
Not the best. But Gaban laughs and he sticks the key right into Luffy's mouth, stretching out his face. I will steal one from J. Moray Eel from our Discord here. It says, Luffy's mouth can be used as a lock tool.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And Gaban sends that key right to Luffy's mouth, stretching out his face, and he just says, "You like to talk, boy."
These are the panels that I appreciate the most, by the way, in One Piece, where it's
Agreed.
like they just go full Tom and Jerry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just, get silly.
You seen the anime episode where the giant lady, the filler episode where the giant lady goes into
can we
Luffy's
not
body
talk about that?
and
disturbing.
gigantifies him? She's wearing like a skin suit.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
your favorite thing to talk about. It.
I do remember that. That was, but that wasn't an.
That was either. I think that was film said filler.
The part I appreciated was that Greg, who never watches the anime, joined in for that one anime recap we did like 10 years ago, and it was the most disturbing thing ever. Anyway,
ridiculous.
This page, also the set of pages that Steve just did, have some of my favorite Luffy faces we've seen in a while here. Every expression is amazing. Anyway, speaking of, there's more of them on this page. You see the key crash. I guess Luffy with the key in his mouth crashing. You see his little legs sticking out from underneath the key, as you see Scopper Gaban now wielding something else in each hand. Don't know where he got those, but Zoro notices he has two axes in either hand, perhaps from the cover of volume 111.
Very similar.
Yeah. And what a cool and fun panel this is, as he gets them ready in place. And Yaso Takeru is the attack name.
I wonder if that's why they call him Mr. Ya.
We had, so this was explained also. It's because in Stephen explained it, I'm sorry, I think a few weeks ago. It's because his name in Japanese is Gaban. So there's the ya in it.
Okay.
But this might be related to that. Not dismissing that entirely. Anyway, what a Luffy face. What a freaking...
Can I say something though? When I read this earlier, I was actually kind of surprised with that face, because I was like, that's the most off-model Luffy face I think I've ever seen in the comics.
Luffy's face is now with Gear 5 regularly off-model.
I know, but this is like almost like, I don't know, there's something about it where I was like, I looked at it going like, I don't feel like I've ever seen that particular expression before. But
maybe you're talking, maybe it was the Popeye discussion, but I feel like this does look like Fleischer cartoon era.
He's in despair.
Doll.
He's in
early
despair.
Tezuka. Yeah,
I think it's just the size of the eyes and the proximity. Like, there's just something about it that just I feel is just different. But I mean, again, not bad. Just I was very,
it almost looks like he doesn't have a nose.
Yeah, I was surprised by this, and I was like, that's an interesting panel.
It is a very interesting panel. It's funny and weird. I don't know what.
It's a Looney Tunes face.
Yeah. Anyway, here comes Scopper with the axes. Zoro with his, let's just say, very cool goggles, says, "Look out, Luffy!" And wow, this is nuts. You get a bam as the sound effect to Scopper's attack, which slices everything in the vicinity. Zoro blocking this from actually hitting Luffy, potentially. And what happens next, Ed?
Well, the whatever tower they're in at the castle is severed and starts to fall. And Roto is aghast. Just look of horror on his face. Oh, yeah, Nami also with a horrified look on her face next to Roto there. And Gaban is like, he's got a good crew. And Zoro sort of smirks. He's like, yeah, that's me. So Luffy poofs into Gear 5 form. And Gaban's like, indeed, all in white. So it seems like he was expecting something.
Can I also say what I love about One Piece is just how, like, when people age in One Piece, they seem to just keep getting stronger.
And cooler.
Like, they don't get weak ever. It's like you see Garp and you're like, oh my God, like, like he's like 100.
But everyone's always mentioning like, oh, they're past their prime. It's not their golden days.
Yeah, okay.
It's not as strong as it used to be,
Yeah,
but then like they're still like
just doesn't seem to work that way.
Like Rayleigh and Whitebeard, yeah. So yeah, the rubble starts to fall out of the tree.
Down all the way to the underworld.
It crashes down there. And Zoro's like, you're gonna get it now. And Gaban rightly says, I yield.
I relent. What was
Yes.
it? I don't even remember what I did want to note that it's especially interesting that Luffy has horns. Like he fused the helmet into his head.
Oh yeah, cool.
On both of these. And I think this might be the first time he is not wearing the traditional Luffy outfit in Gear 5, which had always been something that annoyed me because it's like the Superman just
the Hulk
showing,
clothes.
Well, he had the Hulk clothes, yeah. How did he, but here he's actually wearing his, looks like at least most of his outfit here still. Sorry, Matt, what were you going to say?
You can see on 8, he's still got the buckles from the Viking outfit and the loincloth. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just whatever he's wearing sort of fuses into his body.
Except he's not, was he wearing a shirt before? Oh, no, he wasn't. No. Okay. Of course not. Sam.
We turn the page, and Zoro's like yelling, "Stop playing games with this old man!" And Gaban's just like, "Yeah, ha, 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 don't get bent out of shape. It's just a joke." And Luffy says, "You can't pass this off as a joke after you tried to kill us."
Come on, old man. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson?
And Gaban's like, "Well, are you dead or not?" The key you're after is in your possession. And then Luffy looks over his shoulder and sees, yep, the key is on their side of the battlefield here. And Roto says, "Ultra rare Luffy, if you didn't know, this man is." And Scopper Gaban just kind of interrupts him, like, "Oh, don't get ahead of yourself, Roto. If Elbaf is still intact by the time you're leaving this island, come and see me again." And he's like, look, giving them one last look as he's picking up his clothes and heading out. And Roto, or one of the guys is saying,
Luffy, I think.
"Why would we do that? I never want to see you again." "Yeah, you idiot. Thanks for taking us to the key, though. We'll never meet again." And Gaban's having a memory of meeting up with Shanks.
Probably recently, because Shanks was just there, and Gaban looks the same age.
Yeah, it's adult Shanks, it's old Gaban.
Or present day Gaban.
Present
Gaban
day
says,
everyone.
Yesterday, Gaban.
Wait,
Yeah,
Shanks,
that's
what
better.
what makes you think I'm going to trust this guy? And then you got Shanks laughing that off like, "Haha, good point. Do with him as he will, Gaban." And then we're back at the library.
Back to the children.
Kids are going, "Teacher, teacher, teacher, teacher. Look, 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 look." And what's this teacher's name again? Did she have a name?
Ripley.
She does. No,
No?
that's not Ripley.
Oh.
I'll find it for you.
Liar Boo. No, just kidding.
Liar Boo, that's it.
The kids are pointing up at the sky. "Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman."
It's bird.
So you see birds all the time.
Bird is the word.
It's a weird bird. It's a weird bird. It's a mystery bird. But the teacher doesn't see what they're seeing. She's just looking at the empty sky, asking, "Where are you seeing a bird?"
Matt?
So then we find ourselves in the sun world, and we see that it is the arrow bird. And now you're gonna have to help me with their names because they're new, but it's
They
the
are.
Arrow
Yeah.
This is the real
lady.
test.
That's Kunko.
Yeah. Kunko, who made that. And someone's saying they even have a school served up to us on a silver platter. And then she says, I'll make the call. And then she summons the, and then Shanks' twin brother, right? Whose name is, what's his name
Shamrock.
again? I'm sorry.
Shamrock.
Yes, I should know that. And he says, go ahead. And then she basically summons like a demon circle.
Uncle Shanksy.
Which, by the way, I thought was somebody's devil fruit. So this is the first time I feel like we've seen somebody conjure it just randomly, right?
We haven't. Yeah. I mean, we didn't. We've seen it.
I've seen
with
it
a lot
appear,
of different characters.
but we haven't seen somebody else do it. And
We haven't
actually
seen someone
make
do it.
Because I assumed it was is who's the sitting in the
Emu?
throne? It's
Emu?
Emu. I thought that was her power or his power, whoever.
I don't know.
person
Let's
it
do
is.
her.
But if it's but apparently I guess maybe it's just like their version of a cell phone or something.
No, yeah, this is the first time we're actually seeing someone place one.
Conjure, which is cool.
We've seen,
so that means this is their
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It's like
So
a
then there's a
piece of
big,
technology or something.
crackle of black lightning, and then two smoky figures appear, and you see like the energy from it, and smoke comes out, and then a shadowy figure says, "All right, fine, I'm willing to go. Just give me a minute." And then there's another very odd looking figure that looks like it might have a bubble dome on it, saying, "Where are we leaving from? Where's the abyss?" And as the electricity crackles.
Steve.
and we go this spread here, and a close up of this first figure, an older man in glasses, and he says, "I mean, aren't we supposed to get some time to change at least?" And this dragon looking fella here says, "Uh-oh, I'm in trouble, big trouble." And then we go back to this old man and says, "Can we have an hour? What happens with the other thing? You know, the food situation? We're not letting God starve, are we?" It's like, "Hello? Weird, the signal's not working." And this first guy here, who is didn't get dressed for work today. It's Holy Night. It's a Holy Night from the Shepherd family. This is Saint Somers.
So he's related to Jupiter.
Yeah, so potentially.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get that right away either.
Because he was Shepherd Jupiter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
And then this weird fella, another Holy Knight from the Remo Shifu family.
That we
This
don't
is
know.
Saint Killingham.
Hell yeah.
What a name.
He says, "I'm late. I'm very late. I was
Is
half
she-
asleep. Where am I supposed to go again? And where am I supposed to go again?"
See, that's me.
And what were you going to say, Matt?
Is Shifu? Isn't no, it's Shenron. Never mind. I'm thinking like the name of the dragon from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Shenlong,
no, Shenron.
Shenron. Yeah.
I feel like the name Shifu we've heard before though.
Possible. I haven't actually. I
Then-
should have probably done more research on this, but
Then Gunko here is blushing, kind of looking to the side. And we see her and Shamrock looking at Somers and Killingham. And Somers says, "What is it, Gunko? Are you in my house?
Why are you in my house?
Why are you in my house? Hey, that rug really tied the room together." And he sees Shamrock too, and both Killingham and Somers go, "Huh?
that is such.
We're in Elbath?"
Sorry. That feels like a Skypea-esque, like it feels like a very old school reaction. These two little panels on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Oh, it's very Godatsu.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
I'm always going to read him now in the dude's voice though. Until
Yeah,
I read the anime.
it's the
It's really
first
like,
thing
"Hey,
I saw
man."
when I saw this guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is
What's
just
going on, man?
original."
With the hair and the beard and the
I am so ashamed because I'm like, this is so familiar. This is clearly he is referencing something specific with this guy. He looks too specific.
You think
not
Summers
to
burned
be.
one on the way over here?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah, no, this is amazing. Should we talk about the Killingham name now since we're here? It was, I think Joey is the first one who pointed out to us at least the Kirin connection. So if you've ever had that beer,
Kirin, yeah.
Kirin. I'm
Keating
not gonna
ham.
pronounce it. Yeah, so it's Kirin ham. Yeah, it's a pun off of the mythical dragon, which I think we definitely talked a little bit about.
Isn't it like a magical deer god? It's also a beer.
It's a deer.
Like a-
Isn't it like a dragon deer or something like that?
It's like
Oh,
a unicorn in Final Fantasy.
I thought you said we were having beer. No, I said Killingham.
Yes, that's
I said
exactly.
dragon deer.
So that's interesting, and we'll talk about the probably a little more at the end. But just pointing out that connection before.
Yeah, they don't seem very
for
happy to
fans.
be in Elbaf.
Well, they weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is like, if there was like a Zoom meeting and I was working from home and then all of a sudden you just like transported me to work.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is a Zoom call.
I'd say I don't like that's that's pretty close to like how I dress when I work at home.
It is how, yeah.
Who needs
basically.
pants?
No, exactly.
Who
Yeah.
needs pants on Zoom?
Oh, I want to
Ducky
note
pants.
though, he he has no pants and really no shirt, but he does have his cool robe on.
Yes.
On the back.
It looks like he's wearing swim trunks, I think.
No,
No,
I
those-
think those
those
are
look
like
boxers.
boxers.
Yes.
Those are boxers.
Right.
And he has little hearts on them, so boxers.
And he's not hanging brain, so he's not freewelling at least.
Well, thank
Yes.
Thank you, Ed, for putting that.
God. Yeah.
He came with furniture too. He's got a chair and a chest. It looks like.
Yeah,
probably where his hands
he
are,
was like starting
Yeah.
to pack and then didn't really finish.
Yeah, we're getting to that
And-
next page, 16. Who's got that one?
Yeah. So on the next page, we see we see Saint Summers pulling
Saint Mark
up
Summers.
his
Yeah.
Saint
Stephen
yes.
Summers, the director of The Mummy.
No.
Any
Host of Double Dare.
any other references? Any other references? here?
I love the Double Dare reference. by
Yes,
the way.
we all appreciated the Double Dare reference. Double Dare 2000 or Double Dare the original? Anyway,
OG.
yeah. Putting his pants on now is like, who grabs my entire room, sofa included? I mean, really? Stephen definitely. Honestly, now. I hear Stephen translating that specific.
Niles, this is the worst portal you've ever conjured.
Meanwhile, God, with this, so Killingham, interesting here in just that he walks like a man, with a interesting, cool looking trident, that's all askew, but he has the head of a Kirin. It's just a very weird, disturbing looking image there. He has if we haven't noted, he has the bubble around his head. So this is the land of the giants. It's huge. Very surprising that the land of the giants would be large. And Shamrock, no, who the hell are you? No, we only needed one here. Why are there two? And Killingham says, because you're going back, Commander. Shamrock responds, I am. Orders from above is the response here. I guess Mark Summers got filled in here. The dude, Mark Summers. This is getting it's a hat on a hat here. So that's the deal. And assuming that Shamrock filled him in with whatever we also don't really know. And says that, the situation in the Holy Land is getting rather dire. Everything's gone wrong since the Reverie for some reason. So your presence would really benefit us there. A nice...
It's good to
cool
hear that things
Shamrock
are going
shake.
badly in the Holy Land,
Yeah, well, not to them.
Fuck them.
Gonna happen to nicer people.
Yeah.
Could happen to nicer people. Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't have happened to a
and-
bigger sack of crap.
And Summer, well, all of them collectively. Saint Summer says, so what's the situation? What's the mission? What are you doing here in an unaffiliated country? What are you paying a visit to Harold's grave? Get to that later. Saint, put a pin in that. Saint Summers now is dressed, and he looks fancy now.
Thank God.
Still with the dude vibe.
With his
though.
thigh high boots.
They have that. That's just, I think, the Holy Knight. I like that he has medals on his freaking boots and thigh. Gotta have medals.
What is this, North Korea?
And also, yes. Also the rose thorn hilt. Not hilt. What do you call that?
Pommel.
Whatever it's called. Oh, there you go. Saying, okay, I got it. I understand. You want us just to kidnap some kids, take them to the Holy Land, but they're a little big to stuff into sacks.
Let's get Candlejack on this one. He's got a big enough sack for all those kids.
Scream.
Don't say his name.
Killingham is despondent because they can't travel through the abyss. It's our first time getting a name for that. The abyss pentagrams.
Oh, there you go.
So that means we'll have to sail back. Boo, boring.
Yes. They don't have the mark of the beast on them or whatever.
Yeah,
that's like your JR pass and travel the abyss.
Yes, the JR pass is just like the pentagrams that these. Anyway, and Gunko is seemingly angry that I guess the formalities have been swept aside for Killingham here, and Shamrock's like, look, with your powers, you could make it into a game. A Squid Game. I'm sorry, it's just a full circle there. That's the end of the chapter. The big cliffhanger is that we're also back next week with another chapter.
All right.
Matt, first thoughts. What were your thoughts on the chapter overall?
Well, first of all, I forgot that, now I remember that Luffy doesn't know who Gaban is, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool that Gaban's just sort of testing him just to make sure he's worthy of doing whatever he's about to do.
Gold, silver, copper.
Probably going to cause some chaos. I love that. Mm-hmm. I really like seeing. I love when they sort of peel back the layers a little bit when it comes to the world government. So like the abyss pentagrams, we have a name now. We know that it's not from a devil fruit because I didn't know. I thought maybe somebody was sending them, like they had an operator, but it seems like anyone can summon them, which is very interesting. Because that would basically make the assumption that they have black magic in this universe.
But
dark magic,
work sucks no matter where you are.
Yeah, yeah. And I really like this Killingham character because I always like when they introduce a weird non-human, and it's always that sort of question of: is it a human that ate his own, or is it just a dragon person, another dragon like hybrid human character? So those are my takeaways. I think it's really cool. But now we also know what their mission is, which is to kidnap children, giant children.
Boo.
Which is bad.
Kidnapping children is bad, people. Even giant children.
Even giant children.
Especially giant children. Sam, your thoughts on the chapter?
I don't think I have particularly strong opinions at this moment. The thing that's really jumping out at me is that Sommers and Gaban feel very like low key in their designs for like modern One Piece. Like this feels like designs you would have seen in like the Water 7 era. Just like
that's
regular
a good
kind of
thing.
humans.
I don't know.
Agreed.
Sorry, not to cut you off, Sam. I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it as like a good or a bad thing. It's just like an observation. Like we're in this era where we're used to Oda like going like really far. Like Vegapunk is an example of like that's like really, really, really far. That's as high key as you get. And now he's like drawing like regular sized human old men, who are just like mostly interesting by the just kind of like the body language and
like
a
dragon,
their silhouette,
and a dragon man.
And the Dragon Man. We got Dragon Man in here too.
Got a little weird in there. A little One Piece weird.
But yeah, I wonder how much of that is just like reining it in a little bit, or are these like maybe designs that have been cooking for a while because they're related to something else?
Yeah, because Gaban, at least, he was initially drawn, God, at this point, 15 years ago.
Didn't he used to have black hair?
Yes, he was young once. I think I tend to think like less is more sometimes, especially with designs, because Oda has definitely over the years really piled on some details here. So I think that this is like, this is a great balance here. But they're two old men, and then here's this big dragon guy with like a mane of like flames by the looks of it. Should also mention that, I'll get
and a gas mask.
But, yeah. So for every like old man who's just like, chill, then you get, crazy stuff like Killingham over here.
Which he
like
he also looks
Summers
he
just
has
feels
that,
like. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say Killingham also seems to have that smoke kind of crest or wreath.
That's
or
what I was going to
whatever.
say.
Yeah.
Like the Awakening.
Which usually so it could be a zone or just,
Yeah.
so who knows?
Yeah.
That's my guess. I feel like that's a strong assumption to make. Yeah, Summers just like feels like so like directly. This is just some like one-off character that CP9 would have been reporting to over the phone or something.
Yeah.
Like it's almost uncanny how not modern One Piece it feels. And I like when the characters have big open like Gaban's giving this very he's saying it casually, but he's letting the audience know that the country might be destroyed or like I'm wondering if
Well, if he let Loki out, it could be.
Oh right.
but like narratively like what's the I guess it could be as like how Skypiea is almost destroyed or Enies Lobby is almost destroyed or Fishman Island is still almost going to be destroyed maybe someday.
Luffy has that effect on places, doesn't he?
Is he a good guy?
Yeah,
We'll never know.
I look forward to seeing those moments, those premonitions kind of come forth.
Anything else, Sam?
Not particularly, no.
Steve, thoughts?
It's interesting that this was like a full length chapter because it did feel like very short. I feel like we got robbed of a fun fight with Gaban versus Zoro and Luffy. I was just like, wow, Oda does not want to commit to this. And who knows? Maybe it's just Luffy and Zoro saying or doing the right things. Or maybe just Oda doesn't want to like spend his time doing these things anymore. I think he sees what the anime does. Like, cool, let them drag this out for 20 minutes. Like, I don't want to do it. I was surprised. I thought this was going to go a little bit longer because I'm like, hey, here's an obstacle.
Yeah, but it's just
our heroes.
I think I like that Gaban was just impressed that even in the face of someone as powerful as him, Zoro would just leap into the fight, protect his captain, and wouldn't hesitate. And he was impressed by that.
Because, like, we know, like, Gaban's not, like, we don't think Gaban is an enemy here. So it's like, yeah, like, why do they waste so much time fighting? I don't know. I was expecting a little more sport than that. So
at least one Gear 5 move, right? Like,
right.
Just one. I love the cartoony stuff that he does when he's in Gear 5.
I would not be surprised if this is, like, expanded on further in the anime.
Yeah.
Not at all. But other than that, like, I mean, Somers and Killingham here are like the big talking points here, especially like coming off of what Greg was talking about, which is like the celestial dragons and the existence of dragons in general, or them trying to be dragons.
I like their annoyed attitude. Like, your boss sucks no matter what job you have. Someone's always inconveniencing you. You're not in the loop. You don't know what you're doing. Why'd you take my couch? Shit.
But I'm surprised to see this guy as a dragon. So maybe that kind of debunks kind of what Greg was talking a little bit. Like, if it's just like this one guy who might be a Zoan fruit user, with I forget the name of the dragons that don't have legs, that just have wings and
worms.
What do you say?
Wyvern?
Worms is WWI.
Oh,
WYR.
The Wyvers, I think is
Wyvern.
word.
Sound like you said worms at first. I'm like, no. There's like a type of dragon-like creature it's spelt differently, but it's pronounced
WYRM.
Just thought it was interesting here for sure. And like, it seemed like he was late. I'm not sure if he thought he was on his way to help or he was doing something else, but interesting here. And
No, Summers was just hanging out at home watching TV, smoking a joint, probably. His day off with his
but
in
I'm
his
talking
boxers
about,
on the
I'm talking about
couch.
Killingham. Killingham though looked like he, like, I don't know, maybe he was.
Do you reckon?
No, but he's still
a
surprised
Celestial?
that they're in Elbaf. So I wonder if he was up to something else before he got called in.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's a Celestial too because of the bubble?
That's like an interesting point here. Is like he's got a bubble around his head and a gas
he's a dragon.
a gas mask on, and it's not lost on me that you were previous, artist on Xiaolin Showdown. He kind of looks like
I know he looks like
Dojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
The stars are aligning here.
Maybe Wayne Knight will voice him in the
in
the dub.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Oh, and there's the other little work sucks bit is like, oh, Gunko, you can kidnap the children and take them with your powers. You have fun with it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm curious
Like
with
it's an easy,
Shamrock.
like it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Yes. Big kids. I don't know. Just put like just get a giant van that says free.
Yeah,
candy
fly away
it
on a
or something.
bird.
Say you have a giant puppy in this van with no windows. I don't know. Don't take my ideas.
No.
I'm curious why Shamrock is being called back. Probably so that he doesn't interact with Luffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conveniently here, but I hate that they're like, hey, let's do another God Valley. It's making my skin crawl here. So it was a fine chapter. I wasn't really impressed with it, but I am looking forward to seeing these two goofy holy knights here and how they'll interact with the rest of the characters.
Ed, thoughts?
I mean, as much as I do enjoy Killingham and Summers in particular, but I just love the sort of their sort of attitude about this of like, it's my day off, man. What's your problem? That amuses me a lot. But other than that, I'm impressed by Zoro sort of fighting off Gaban, blocking his attack, and showing no concern for the castle. The castle is falling apart. But overall, it's a good time. Especially, I do enjoy Summers, and who knows where this is going with the kids maybe getting kidnapped. So there's I thought it was a fun chapter, even if I did have a hard time following it, reading on my phone. I've been having a hard time following the action on a lot of these chapters, honestly. So, yeah, that's all I've really got to say. Zach?
Yeah, no, I want to preface what I'm going to say in that if you haven't, please listen to Greg and Steven's SGS from last week, which the SGS is our version of the SBS we do on off weeks with Steven, who's the translator for the official translator for One Piece, the manga, and Greg, who is the series advisor for Netflix and works at Shueisha, all that. And that discussion and Steve talked a little bit about it.
Greg is sort of the godfather of American One Piece fandom. He had the first One Piece fan site.
Yeah. And that discussion really kind of opened my eyes regarding the Celestial Dragons and kind of their role and perhaps even their backstory. So I did want to touch a little bit on what Steve was saying about dragons generally. And I was even thinking, like the hoof of the Celestial Dragons, the name Celestial Dragons, and then we obviously have a dragon-esque figure in Killingham. And I'll add one other thing. We talked about God Valley, that there were two fruits at God Valley. One was Bartholomew Kuma's.
Yes.
And the second was Kaido's fruit, which was a dragon fruit. So again, I think there is some sort of fixation with the Celestial Dragons and actual dragons. I wonder, we haven't seen too many celestial dragons beyond the 5 elders, maybe with devil fruits. So this, is extra interesting. And I believe the devil fruits at God Valley were prizes for whoever killed the most, or whatever was going on there.
That sounds right.
Killed the most people, or whatever it was supposed to be. The kidnapping children is a familiar plot for those who remember Punk Hazard. It
specifically giants too, right?
And
like
they were gigantifying the kids. So I mean, this is wholly unsurprising to me that this is something they're doing. I wonder did they say specifically why they wanted to kidnap them? No, right? No. And that's a very interesting question. For those who remember the Big Mom flashback specifically, she had been selling. There were human trafficking just on top of all of this, with children, giant children. So this is not the first time that the world government has been trying to use the children of Elbaf. Obviously here they have been pacified, leading me to one other interesting note, which I haven't seen talked about very much, the paying a visit to Harold's grave line. We've talked about the fact that King Harold may have been some sort of plant by the world government or sympathetic with the world government. And because I just see Matt's face there, sorry. Being curious as to why I or others may think that. In that,
well,
go ahead. Yeah, no, I
was just going to say that that makes sense why Loki would want to kill him.
It would make sense why Loki wanted to kill him. And Loki, we have a feeling, since Luffy likes him, there must be something more sympathetic. It also explains why he had that screed about peace, which is a good thing generally, I think. But it also pacifies these kids and future generations to be used by the world government. For them to swoop in and just, literally take a generation of Elbafian kids. So very interesting stuff. I think that is probably, for me, like the most interesting line of the chapter. I love the hell out of these two designs. You're right, Sam. This does feel very Water 7. He's almost... I'm trying to remember who it was, like one of those like no name-ish, but he had a name characters Corgi? On the sea train. Is it? Am I thinking of?
Well, there's that tall guy, and there's
Jerry?
Corgi who's like
Jerry?
he kind of
Jerry. Oh, he kind of has a Jerry vibe.
Tall guy.
Yeah, that's Steve's spirit animal person, because Steve also has to bend down at a 90-degree angle when he goes onto trains. Don't correct me on that. No, but I love that he also is like a combination of Jerry and Jeff Bridges. It's a very fun look. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, the Kieran Killingham. I'm also curious as to how you get the Saint title. We know the 5 Elder Stars all have that.
All
both
the
former
Celestial Dragons have it, right?
So that's what I thought, but with Shamrock and Gunko, we did not see that. Maybe it was an oversight on Oda's part, or maybe there's a reason for it. But
isn't it sort of a knighthood thing? Because remember when they replaced one of them, they like one of the other saints kind of moved up in his spot, right, to be the next 5th elder.
Yeah, but also Charlos was a saint, and all those other losers from Shabadi and later the Reverie. So I have a feeling it's an oversight on Oda's part.
Or you got like a regular name and a biblical name and the...
Well, they're holy knights, right? So they're already like...
Well, I mean,
religious.
saint isn't technical. I mean, in our vernacular, isn't... it's sir, right? Is the knighted name. Saint is more of the godly. Yeah. But I mean, they think so highly of themselves. Again, if anyone has a chance to listen to the SGS from last week, I highly recommend it. Just the idea that they're modeling themselves, like looking back at that mural from a few chapters ago, modeling themselves on perhaps how they came to model themselves after gods and why. Is an interesting thing. Working backwards, I love the hell out of Scopper Gaban and his whole everything, his whole shtick, the whole thing. I love I don't know, disagree with Steve, but I'll have a slight point of contention in that I don't think Oda was trying to get out of that fight. I thought like the cliffhanger of him having a fight with Luffy and Zoro was like, oh, this is just going to be this, basically. A couple pages of like, oh, let's see what you could do, and let's have a little test for this kind of thing. Like, Rayleigh never really... How much of Rayleigh did we really get at first? Very little. How much of, when we see those big legends...
I mean, even so, it was so quick. It was like he committed to it.
Like the game existed just to be that cliffhanger almost.
Yeah, it absolutely did. I mean, like, he also had, that's the weekly Shonen Jump grind. You have to have a cliffhanger going into the next week. And so that was...
I don't know. It felt cheap to me. I'll just say.
We also had a break week. So I thought this is what I expected and this is what I got, and I was happy with it. I think specifically that spread on 6-7 is gorgeous and fun and kinetic, and he is such a presence. I think this chapter like solidified him higher on my in my personal favorability chart. But this is also like, we don't need to give the power scalers more like who's stronger than who. I
don't think that's. I just wanted to see something fun.
No, I think this was fun. I don't know how much of this arc has been very fast. So it feels in line, and also the last arc. Everything since Wano has felt very kinetic, and
which, for the record, I do appreciate. Because Wano was great, but after Wano was like, when Egghead we blew through that, I was like, oh, thank God. Let's
he could have. Oda back in 2005 would have spent a very long time on Egghead, for example. It ended up chronologically being a long time for us, but it was only like as long as Pug Hazard or something. But so consequential and so much happening, and this is the same kind of thing. It's such a fast paced chapter, and I understand how the fight was so quick for that reason. Nothing else I really want to say other than every Luffy face here is a gem. Even the off-model one.
Even the off-model one?
Especially the off-model one.
Like, how dare you? I'm like, he just doesn't look like Luffy to me in that panel, but that's fine.
I don't know. I would buy a figure of that face.
Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's the first time I actually really noticed it and went,
Luffy could be off-model, and not too. I'll take a step back and lean on the experts here for their opinion on that.
I like when the rule applies with Gear 5, but just regular Luffy. It was
startling.
It was interesting. Yeah,
it was startling. I won't say that it's a weird panel. It is a weird panel. But it's not. It's fine. It's not that important. The fusing together his outfit thing is interesting too. I think we saw him with horns once before. I thought we did in Gear 5, but maybe I'm making that up. I don't remember.
This is sounding familiar because I was thinking that too today. I'm like, where have we seen this before, where something kind of incorporates into the...
by the way, must have been... While he thinks about... Sorry, Steve. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but I know we've seen something like that before.
Didn't he have a horned helmet the Coliseum at Dressrosa.
Yeah, but he wasn't Gear 5.
Yeah,
He wasn't
I'm
Gear
trying to
5
think like
yet.
Gear
Okay, yeah.
5.
You're thinking about like the goggles from Gear 5? He can just like make clothes or...
No, like, did he do Gear 5 at all on the Lego table?
Oh, he may have.
Maybe.
Oh, I want to add, this is the thing that people have been thinking about this whole manga recap, I'm sure. Saul's assistant, who we saw there, her name is Angie. So I'm coming full circle there. Forgot to mention that. Angie is the name. Steve, it might have been the Lego Island stuff, which now I want to play that game.
No, we did not call it. Oh wait, I definitely did a Lego Island.
I want to see
definitely
it in the anime.
did.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to see how that looks in the anime. Like whether they're going to do rainbow Legos or.
You know what? I just happened to pick the right chapter, 1128. He has the horns. It was after he got dressed. It's Lego Island when he was fighting the My Sacred Temple, literally that part of it. Yeah, My Sacred Temple. With the snake and the bird and everything's going crazy.
Yeah.
And the Cats in the Cradle.
And the Cats in the Cradle with the silver spoon. Anyway. God, that was a good chapter. Anyway, the 1128. That does it, I think, unless anyone has any other thoughts on.
No, good chapter. Yeah. Good, yes.
Thank you, Ed.
I always like meeting really like I think in One Piece you can always tell when someone's going to be really a problem with how little shit of a give they have. Like if that makes sense. Like, you know, when I see Saint Summer show up and he just doesn't give a shit and he's like in his underwear and stuff, I feel like, oh, he's going to be really dangerous.
Yep.
That dude could destroy
Kuzan.
this planet.
It's like, yeah, exactly. Like Kuzan, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. Like, as soon as someone shows up and goes, yeah, you're like, okay, they're gonna be easy. But when someone shows up and goes, why did I get out of bed for this?
Like Kid.
You're like, uh-oh.
Kunko, why are you in my living room? Shit.
Yeah. He just like lets out a huge cloud.
You did remind me, I don't know why, but the line where Gaban says if Elbaf is still intact, Greg has also been mentioning, and then we've been mentioning, the fact that the beginning is so happy and good for everyone. It does not bode well for Elbaf.
I hate to derail the ending of the segment. Just saying, I forgot that Gaban said that. The fact that he said that, he must know that some shit is going down, and he knows like they're gonna need Loki. Oh my god, I forgot to mention this too. Sorry.
No, this is this happens every week.
Who was it? Was it Somers here talking about? Oh, what are you gonna visit? Harold's grave.
I said that already.
Why would? Yeah,
we talked
Sorry,
about that.
do you have a full...
Yeah, like
we have
Elbaf
full
isn't even
on.
part of the world government.
Yes,
You were probably
but the
drawing,
fact that
which is fine.
like why do they care about Harold? Because that's playing back to something I've said previously, where I feel like Harold was trying to like it had ties with the world government to try to bring Elbaf in, and that's why Loki killed him. I don't know. That just feels like a little more. I feel a little more vindicated there. So
Me too. Shit's gonna go down. I'm curious why Gaban doesn't. Well, he doesn't want his identity known quite yet for some reason to Luffy. Although the rest know he's on the island, because I know Dory and Brogy, I think, were talking about it. Anyway, I think that'll do it. Let's move on to the next segment. This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and then decide if it's a double dare. Let's start out. I don't know. Don't get slimed. That's probably better. Something like that. Let's start with the first segment. Steve, do you want to do the thing?
As we always start the Piece Together segment with disproves. Right?
You're like me, where when you try and go low, it's just your regular voice, but it sounds a little.
Can't do it.
Yeah,
it's only when I could do like the Nosferatu voice. That's like only when my voice can actually.
When it's I've been now that I'm reading stories to a child, I'm trying to actually learn how to. My inhibitions, my inhibitions are finally lifting after many decades. Let's go to Discord where our patrons have submitted questions, and we read those questions. That's what we're doing right now. First one comes from King. I'm stating the thing that we are doing. King Doji is first here. It says, question for Steven, who is not here. So, we have a lot of questions. We have a few questions for Steven. Let's see. Let's pretend we're translators for One Piece and answer these. But please resend them in next week when people could actually answer them. Is the abyss that Killingham mentions the same abyss that showed up in the Harley? That's a very good question. Was it the second world void or the third world emptiness? We talked a lot about this in the SGS and in our original 2-hour discussion on the mural. So we're going to come back to that. Also for Steven from S&P, it's the name Killingham, one of those LR things. So is it supposed to reference Kirin? I think that one's a little more clear. So
the answer is yes.
I'm gonna assume it's yes. I haven't seen anything to refute that. By the way, Steven's not here this week because he is not feeling well. So get well soon. Let's put that out into the world on a little boat or something that goes into the sky.
The boat of our souls.
A boat, or whatever they had in Wano. OPP.
I was about to say the lantern boats.
The lantern boats I was referring to. Yeah.
I want to see Daddy fly.
Steve. OPP got me into Shamrock Shake says, hey OPP, do you think we will get a princess this arc? I hope Oda caters to the male fantasy and Hyruden and Loki have a cute sister who Luffy befriends this arc. I'm going to throw this one to Sam, who immediately knew this was for him.
What was the question?
You heard.
Are we going to get a
princess?
Are we going to get a princess?
Cute little sister.
I came in late. What?
Are we going to get a princess this arc?
Yeah,
cute little sister.
We already have one. And their name is Loki.
That's true. That's true.
That's the princess we got to save.
Also, Vivi, who seems to be descending soon, maybe. There's another princess. Pirate Hunter. Sam, did you actually have any opinions on whether we're getting a?
What was the
princess?
question?
Are we going to get a giant princess, or this arc? Who's not Loki?
Yeah, I think Loki is the princess.
Okay,
I think he's our princess character.
Okay, I do too. I mean, we literally have to go rescue him. Yeah, definitely. Pirate Hunter Gibby, I believe, or Jibby, says, hey OPP, with more holy knights revealed in this chapter, I'm thinking back to Dragon's statement in chapter 1083 that the real fighting will begin when the holy knights mobilize. Do we think Dragon and the revolutionaries will make an appearance on Elbaf to help fight off the holy knights? I think we're overdue for learning more about Dragon and his powers, as well as the father-son. They say reunion. I'm going to just say regular reunion. We haven't ever seen them together. Yeah. It would be really funny to see Dragon expect a dramatic reunion only for Luffy to not care at all and ignore him to go to Sabo and Eva. It's true. That would be crushing for all involved.
Only for the dads.
Which I am, so yes.
Well, hey, Zach, Cat's in the Cradle. It's like the second time we've referenced that song.
That is the second time we've referenced that song.
Dragon trying to explain that he went out for cigarettes before he ever even.
Yeah.
Well, now we know Dragon has almost explicitly said he has not mentioned Luffy and does not talk about Luffy or think about him because he doesn't want Luffy to be a liability. I don't really think that, or to him.
Dragon went out to get cigarettes for the people.
That's true.
Yeah.
The people needed the cigarettes, and
I just like the idea of having to make the excuse retroactively.
I was getting cigarettes for everyone, so we could.
I would be saying I went out for cigarettes, but I guess you weren't expecting me to come back at all in the first place. So.
True. Yeah, you didn't know who I was, so the cigarette line doesn't really work. And Jinbei used it already. What was I going to say? I would add to this that I think Oda mentioned in an interview something like when you see Shanks more, or when we hear more about Shanks, we're getting closer to the end of the series, I think from way back. And since we're seeing that, and the Holy Knights, I think. And Oda has said we're, getting to the end. This is not like a secret.
Yeah, you said he had 3 years left about 3 years ago.
I think he said he had 5 years left about 3 years ago. 5 years
He said
ago.
3 years recently, didn't he?
He said
He says a lot of
he
things.
says a lot of things.
But the number is getting smaller is the point.
Is it? Next one comes from Rivoshifu Eye Patch. I get that, the Shifu thing. Well. Looks like Harold was someone the Celestial Dragons respected after all. And we have a Nito Kirin dude. I wonder if his devil fruit will be the sour, the sour, fish. Sorry, sour meaning dinosaur, I guess. Fish, or bull family. You don't have to. Do they have to say it twice, even if it's a devil fruit? Whatever. After all, Kirins are heavily tied to giraffes, and this other dude is related to Jupiter. I like his thorny sword. Guess Oda decided not to keep Shamrock around for now. What weird game are they going to play with these kids? Shoots, arrows, and giraffe ladders? A Davy back? Fortnite? Just Fortnite. I don't think there was a joke on
Probably
that last
Fortnite.
one. Yeah.
There's a question here, right?
There were a few. It was what devil fruit like category do you think the Kirin is in? Is the first of them.
Probably Mythic Zone.
I would guess mythical zone. Yeah.
Because it was weird because Kaido's was like a fish related like.
Yeah, what's the like parent species?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, giraffe, I would assume.
Well, giraffe is ox fruit model giraffe.
That's
So
true.
so it would be ox fruit
Mythical
type Kirin model.
Yeah, probably. Or, yeah, it's weird how he has done that, especially with the dragon talk. Like, why can't there just be a dragon fruit? Like, why does it have to be rationalized?
Well, and isn't Nika like a human fruit?
Right.
Mythical model,
Yeah. I don't quite understand the logic that Oda employs with these sometimes.
Well, maybe it's just something about just dragonhood being, something a little bit harder to obtain, because Kaido had to work for that form. It wasn't just like, that wasn't a guarantee. It was like a carp or something like, a fish, and
it's like Pokemon.
Had to he had to evolve.
And he had to catch them all. Wait, Kaido, what was his actual devil fruit? Because was it really a carp? It was a
fish. It's a fish fruit model, Azure
Dragon. So that's probably like kind of what it would be. It's just weird that fish is the category. I mean, I guess it's like a genus species thing. Like, it's the broader, like dragons, I guess, in this world are presumably a type of fish. Because it is an Azure
myth, right?
Well,
yeah, like I think Kaido's form
or dragons a myth
specifically
in this world?
because it's part of the goldfish dragon myth.
Yeah.
Or the koi fish. It was a koi fish.
Yeah. Yeah, we discussed that, I remember, at the time. I wonder. Because also the Kirin is like a lot of different things.
Because the dinosaurs are dragon fruit, some ancient type model. So like there's got to be a dragon fruit mythical model somewhere, right?
Well, it's not a dragon. There's no dragon fruit as far as we know.
Yeah.
Like,
all of the
dinosaurs are
dragons.
Yeah. Dragon fruit, ancient type Pachycephalosaurus.
Oh,
yep.
That's extra weird. Then why is Kaido a fish?
I don't know.
This is
Why are you so hung up on this? It's been like 4 years.
Will there ever be a mythical dragon fruit?
He is a killing dragon. So Qilin apparently.
Yeah, this is so freaking weird.
So it's fish.
It's One Piece. One
Piece
is weird.
Killing dragon.
Why are dinosaurs dragons? They're not. They're chickens. Next question.
Tyrannosaurus means thunder lizard, Zach.
Yeah,
That's true.
And it's incorrect. It's just a giant chicken. They really, I mean, birds really are dinosaurs. Anyway, Mallory has a
If
question.
you put wings on a dinosaur, it's a dragon.
Shut up. Mallory says, "Hi, OPP. The Scopper Gaban reveal last chapter left me pretty cold, so I was pleased with how fun this chapter was. Are there any characters or plot developments that you had a negative first impression of, only to enjoy later?" Now, that's a question.
Yeah, Luffy eating the Nika fruit.
Yeah.
I remember that kind of being like, "Whoa."
Yeah, that's still it
still
still
a
doesn't
pull,
quite sit right.
Yeah. I love Gear 5 and everything he has done with it. That was a pull. The whole, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of like fake outs with deaths. I think, the Pell one is, the Pell and Paglia ones are pretty bad, but I think like this latest one with Vegapunk's like, "Oh yeah, I have a clone of me."
The Paglia one's good because they get a joke out of it.
I was going to say,
yeah, the Paglia one at least has a great gag.
Oh, I'm here.
The Pell one has like really done nothing. Pell's done like nothing of note since, but the Vegapunk one having a clone was like, what was the whole point of like just saying all the satellites?
I'm not as annoyed by that. I don't know. Pell is the annoying one to me.
That one's not bad until it actually like becomes something. Like if it's something like I'm ready for that to be like like part of one of our subplots is we're trying to revive Vegapunk, but we're only able to do it in like a very inopportune way or something.
Yeah. Plus, Steve, it hasn't happened
body,
yet.
right?
Yeah, they have a clone body ready.
They're threatening to do it.
They're threatening,
which means that they
have
can
the
subvert
original
your
body too,
expectations.
right? Didn't he die? He died on the ship, right? Or no?
Yeah, the original body exists, but they're not putting it back into that. I guess they're putting his conscious. To be fair, Steve, his head still is floating up literally in the clouds right now.
Yeah.
Like half of his body, like 99 hundredths of his body is still up there. It's what Mars was saying. It's like
the top of his skull is plugged into the core of the island too, right?
So like
the giant forehead.
Yeah. What is death and what is okay, so a lot of his body is missing.
Yeah, but it would have been interesting. I just said I think it would have been a little more interesting if they left up. It's like, oh, what are we gonna do with his brain? And then instead of just like, oh, there's a clone.
Let's eat it. We can all be Vegapunk.
Yeah, that's
gain his knowledge.
That Lisa line. No, yeah, I am fine with that one personally. Pal was such a waste because that was a big sacrificial moment. Vegapunk's death or his whatever it was, temporary death, served what it was supposed to serve. And I think Oda needed him out of the picture either way because he knows too much. Yeah. Next question comes from Sailor Karna. The faces in this chapter are great. Oda really pushed the comedy this time. There you go. Yes. That's a comment.
No comment.
Hopkins Hat 15 says, "Hey OPP, how it be? When I read Saint Summers and Killingham, I hear Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce voices, mostly because of the Simpsons episode Brother from Another Series for the first time. Because I saw that episode for the first time recently and couldn't help thinking about Frasier. If you could have a Simpsons voice actor or actress be in One Piece, who would you pick and who would they voice?" Now, this is a question. And in their prime, I'm going to add to this.
I mean, Hank Azaria still does some really good voices. I mean, he still does. He does some social media posts where I'm like, pretty good.
No, he's
Hank Azaria as Scratchman Apu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Jeez.
I don't know if that would fly anymore, but yes.
Prime Castellan.
Well, this one's not Indian though.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a piano, so I think it's fine.
And like
he's got very long arms.
Chinese.
I don't know. Is Chinese? I don't.
Yeah.
Unclear. Yeah.
So like the image country.
Is that
his
image?
outfit? His outfit is Chinese.
His outfit. Come on.
No, his outfit is. No
He's
other
got,
part of
the,
him.
like the top braid.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, I don't know.
But he's got long arms and piano teeth, so who knows?
Either way, Hank Azaria will nebulously voice him.
Yeah, there you go.
Who else? I mean, there's so many amazing actors on The Simpsons, and I'm trying to think of, like, who would Harry Shearer voice on One Piece? Maybe this is a better way to do it.
He wouldn't want to do it.
No, he would not. Who would we force with a lot of money, Harry Shearer, to voice from home on The Simpsons?
He would be one of the very bored, OP'd characters, just doing his sort of like,
Could be
okay,
Kaido.
here we go.
I feel like he'd be one of the elders.
Yeah.
He would be great elders, or the henchmen of the elders. Or both. That's the last disc piece, and I do want to give one shout out on Reddit since someone is noticing it. This is from Carcosan Anarchist, who mentioned that can't stop thinking about the One Piece connection after chapter 1138. And I just want to thank them for knowing that exists and reading it. We did talk about a lot of stuff back then that didn't happen. So yeah, give it a read if you haven't. That's everything for Piece Together. Let's round up.
I'll answer the Simpsons question again. I always thought Castellaneta would have been a fun Spondum.
Ooh.
I just thought like that kind of downplay the robot devil voice a little bit. I thought he would have been a great Spondum.
That's what I was thinking.
I do think Buggy would sound really funny as Krusty the Clown too. Oh no, it's a straw hat.
That's a really good Krusty.
I would really dig that.
It's a good Krusty.
Thank you.
I feel like that's
been
a
Homer Simpson before too.
Rally my crew. Oh, this is always death.
Is that what Mike McFarlane's going for?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't heard a ton of Krusty impressions. Like, that's not really the...
But they're just like both very...
They are similar.
Very, very raspy.
Yeah.
They are.
I smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Maybe
Oy.
it might have been like one of those things that maybe for Mike at least, it was like kind of in the culture and it just like, he like, oh yeah.
I think it's Mark Hamill Joker. I think that's what's in the culture.
Maybe Mark Hamill absorbed Krusty a little bit.
What are you talking? I'm talking about Buggy. I'm not talking about Krusty.
No, I'm saying Krusty is kind of the godfather of these
blue-haired clown with 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
First of all, my hair's not blue; it's green.
It's like a teal.
What is Trunks?
Sorry,
does
now
Trunks
it's
say
teal.
this now?
Sorry, I was just at Universal again. And I see like modern Krusty, his hair is teal, and I remember actually like in the cell painted episodes, it's green. And I think just like the way it transitions sometimes, final like the final cut, it does kind of look teal. But they confront it in an episode.
That's it for the Piece Together segment. Let's round off the podcast.
All right.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 857 for February 24th, 2025. Thank you all for coming on today. This is another fun chapter. Elbaf is really moving. It just felt like a whirlwind. I can't believe this has been going on for what, like 5 months now? Is that right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know the answer to that. Matt.
5 months? No way.
Is it? I just guessed. I have no idea.
I feel like
it was
is.
like
I feel
late summer.
A chapter starts and I blink and it's been 3 years, so.
I was just saying, what is it? Days take years and years take seconds is just kind of, you hit a point in life where that's just the case. And with One Piece, it feels like that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, where could people find you and your work, and what are you working on now that you could tell people about?
I'm directing a movie for Disney Plus in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. So that comes out this Christmas coming up. And I'm also currently working on a personal project that I was able to get sort of off the ground. It's a sort of an animated special and a video game that tie together based on an original concept of mine called Super Free Play. So I'm working on that now and trying to get that out by the fall. So those are two things coming in 2025 that should be pretty neat. And then I'm cooking up a lot of mischief, behind the scenes, but nothing I can really talk about at this point, but I'm hanging in. And then on socials, I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky Pia. It's Matt Danner. And then I'm still on Twitter for some reason. I don't know why. And I still call it Twitter for some reason. I don't really check it very often.
That's because you were sane.
Yeah. But,
For both of those.
You're principled.
Your principal.
Yeah, but if you're on that, I'm at Maddie Danner with a Y. But I honestly am not on it very often these days.
Nor should you.
And that's kind of it. I'm not on any other socials really. So
Yeah.
find me on Blue Sky Pia.
Find him on his favorite arc.
We talk about Skype.
Yeah, that's all we do on. You know what? It should be.
It's just a bunch of millennials talking about Skype.
By the way, here's the you want to feel like time is passing too quickly moment. August 25th is when LBAF started. So we're November, December.
Oh, yeah.
It's 6 months. It's already been half a year of LBAF. That doesn't feel right. That feels wrong. I mean,
I see September.
It could be September 8th. It depends how
No,
you...
it was August because our live show in New York.
Oh, you're right. It was when you get the...
well, that was them
order
approaching
box.
the island.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It depends how you define it. There's lots of... It's like...
Those interstitial chapters.
Yeah, it's the chapter that kind of starts LBAF and ends Egghead was August 25th. So it's been around 6 months. Sam, where can people find you?
6 months.
6 months.
God, this whole podcast was us debating each other and questioning each other.
Sam, I'm looking at it.
All right, then you tell me what my Blue Sky handle is, Zach.
LC Sam?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Nice.
At
Got it.
BSKY hashtag pound symbol, whatever.
Just slam your hand on the keyboard and you'll find us. Sam, what are you up to? Anything? Doing anything? What's going on?
Am I up to something? Not in particular. It's been just thawing out here in Minnesota. Finally above freezing. Forgot what that feels like.
Yeah, same.
What are you playing, Sam?
Playing Valkyria Chronicles.
There you go.
There we go.
Steve, what about you? What million projects are you doing right now?
Well, you could, find my website. It's steveyurko.com. Find me on socials. Steve Yurko is probably, just type that in wherever, most places. That's where you find me. Listen to me on my other podcast, 4Kids Flashback with Terrace Sands. And also listen to me on ProZD Plays Games over on YouTube. And yeah, that's it.
You can find us, or you can find me at zachlogan.com on Blue Sky. That's really the only place I am, because Skypea is a good arc, and I don't really want to talk about the other ones, especially the other arcs if they were social media. You can find us at the podcast at onepiecePodcast.com, which is our website. You could also find us on any social media, really, at One Piece Podcasts. We just rebooted our Facebook again after they, for some reason, mysteriously kicked us off like a bunch of years ago. I'm like, I'll try for all the boomers still on there to check out. That's there. Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, technically. And the rest. You could, again, Gilligan's Island.
Here.
Yeah. Finally, Gilligan's Island reference.
We did it. See, that's called, we went all the way around back to the beginning.
That's it. You could check us out. Please check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast and support us in the good work we do, including articles from Kirsten every week on the newest chapters, the amazing art you see every week from Steve, and just the general upkeep of running a podcast. You could check out alternate art and alternate titles every week, and they're always funny. This week is no exception, from Steve. And we also have the full Forced to Watch 4Kids series, which is definitely worth a listen with Steve and Alex. I am remiss that Alex was not here this week for the one episode we talk about the Big Lebowski at all. He is on his baby moon right now, and hope he is enjoying that. And if you have not wished Alex congratulations, please send those his way. And you could also call us at our phone number, which I need to check, 347-497-MAJI. That phone number again, 347-497-6254. Call anytime with your questions.
Yes, check before they're deleted forever.
Questions, comments, theories, or your gum grabbing gun. Thank you all for coming on this week's episode. Next week, we're here with chapter 1141, and let's see who we got here. Next week, we have... I don't know. Wow, my favorite. Love it.
Mystery.
We'll see. Mystery guest next week. Anyway, Matt was originally, but things got moved around. So I will find someone, and they will be amazing. But until then, my name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.